Okay, Aaron. I think he will be joining us a little later as well to give us another bout of his entertainment. And so what I'd also like to say is there's a potter over here displaying his pottery, Jacob Fry. He's from Pewaukee. If you want to. Tasuke. Oh, okay. I was going to say Fry sounded like a Tasuke name. Okay, good. So we're going to move on to some presentations to talk about the issues with Indian education here in Santa Fe. And so I'd like Cindy Hall and Nancy Davis to come up and share with us. Thank you.
Tanchikia. My name is Nancy Davis. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Turtle Mountain Chippewa. I come here today as a mother, as an educator, and as a citizen of Santa Fe. Currently, I serve our Native American students, K through 12, in the Santa Fe Public Schools. I coordinate programs that help support our students and families. Currently, there are about 435 or so students representing the 23 pueblos and tribes here in New Mexico, along with about 85 other tribal nations from throughout the United States. In Santa Fe, there is a great need to help support our Native youth. 86% of our students qualify for free and reduced lunch. 17% are enrolled in special education. 18% are English language learners, and 15% are identified as being homeless. Homeless meaning that either they are doubled up in home situations with multiple families living together. This also could mean that they're living in transitional housing or shelters, things like that. So I'm here for the voice of our Native student population and just to let you know that they appreciate and need your support along the lines of tutoring, funding our educational programs here in Santa Fe and throughout the state, and they also need the support of their families, their aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, and our community at large. So you might be seeing some pamphlets being passed around that talk a little bit more about our program. So feel free to shoot an email or give us a call, and you're most welcome at any of our events that we have during our school year. Right now, I'd like to turn it over to our parent committee chairperson. We work collaboratively with a parent group. We try to empower our parents to be decision makers and to get involved in their children's education. And Miss Cindy Hall is an excellent example of what an engaged parent leader should be. So Miss Cindy Hall. Thank you.
Hi there, everybody. I have to read mine because my brain's a little scattered these days. And I usually like to start with a little bit of something funny, but the state of our Indian education is not funny right now. The state of education in our public schools for Native students is distressing. Native students perform 2 to 3 grade levels below their white peers in reading and mathematics. They are 237% more likely to drop out of school and 207% more likely to be expelled than white students. For every 100 American Indian and Alaskan Native kindergartners, only 7 will earn a bachelor's degree, compared to 34 out of every 100 white kindergartners. These statistics represent a snapshot of the current problem facing Native students. Do I have your attention now? I could stand here all day and spew statistics about Native students to all of you. But the truth of the matter is, I'm standing here today so my son does not become a statistic. So your son or daughter, your nieces and nephews, and your grandchildren do not become statistics. It is time for us as a community to step up to the plate and lead our children out of this educational pothole. We have to be willing to go to parent-teacher conferences and PTA meetings as many times as we show up for basketball games. We have to be willing to hold ourselves accountable for our children's education and ultimate success. We have to show our children that we are invested in their education and they in turn will become invested. It starts with us. How can we hold our state and federal legislators accountable for educational budget cuts when parents aren't checking their homework or getting their kids to school on time? Once we change our attitude, then we can change everyone else's. I caught the big news story last week where Colorado and New Mexico representatives were rushing legislation to see who would be first in the race to approve a chili license plate. I'm glad to know that we're focused on the really important stuff. Why aren't we racing to see who's going to raise the per student spending on the national average? The education budget cuts in New Mexico are placing an unfair burden on administrators, teachers, parents, and students. Our Indian education departments are struggling to maintain programs designed to close the achievement gap between Native and non-Native students. For a state whose tourism department relies so heavily on Native American culture and craft, the imbalance of reciprocity is overwhelming. The following policy recommendations we request immediately are to ensure access for Native students to a curriculum that prepares them for the rigors of a new economy in college, thus enabling them to fully participate in the workforce. Require classroom teachers to integrate information about Native American culture and history in all instruction and create mandatory New Mexican Native American history curriculum classes that cover pre-revolt through current day. Increase the voice of Native peoples and their participation in the work of schools and make schools more culturally relevant places for Native children. Increase funding for all students, ensuring Indian education departments are able to provide additional services specifically addressing the needs of Native students. These statistics speak powerfully on behalf of change. The American dream to live productive, healthy lives, free from want and full of choices, depends on a robust education system. We have work to do to ensure that opportunities are equally distributed to all Indigenous children in the state, and the time is now. Thank you very much. Wado.